Welcome to Missed Conversations. My guest today is the man who has brought the marathons to the Indian streets, not just as races, but as festivals. Introduction of participative sports into a country like India is very, very interesting, Vivek. Please welcome Vivek Singh, Joint Managing Director of Procam International.
Rahat, thank you so much. Delighted to be here and delighted to be with you. It's been so long.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Vivek, we'll start by introducing the relevance of running marathons in India today.
So, India was not a participative sporting nation, right? We were a spectator sport nation.
True.
And my brother Anil had this dream at the turn of 1999 that participative sport brings so much to society. It's a panacea for civil society in many ways. And we must bring participative sport to India. So it took us 5 years of moving around with proposals to every person that we knew. And finally, Standard Chartered Bank said yes. And I remember those early days, and there was this gentleman heading Standard Chartered Bank. His name was Jaspal Bindra, absolute visionary. And he and his predecessor, Christopher Lowe, actually took a huge leap of faith with us to sponsor the first Standard Chartered Mumbai Marathon.
I remember that.
And it was transformational in so many ways. I'm sure we'll talk about that. But yeah, this one event that brought this woke this nation up to something that we don't always have to cheer for others. We, as participants, can be cheered by others.
Get yourselves involved in it.
Get yourself involved. Come out. Walk. Run. Take a cause in hand. It was simply magical. We planted 5 seeds in the ground. And those seeds were that the marathon that we do must bring pride and prestige to the host city.
True.
It also must foster social harmony. It must augur well for health and fitness. Charity, it must raise monies for a cause. And it must give our Indian athletes a platform to perform on.
Showcase, yeah.
But none of these seeds were seen. They were just planted in the ground.
So when you initiated the first marathon, I'm sure you didn't get all the seeds done. So what were the initial seeds that you planted it when you started it? Because I'm sure you have to first see it moving before you bring in all the elements.
So in 2002, a multinational giant. We had been in the market from 1999, walking around with our briefcase and selling this concept and hoping somebody would buy it. So in 2002, a multinational giant said, listen, we like this. It may be early for India, but we like it. So we said, great,
Finally.
He says, but this is the way we're going to do it. So we said, the way we're going to do it? He says, yes. First, we'll start with a local event. Then we'll make it a city event. And then we'll make it a national event. And one day in the future, we'll make it an international event.
Very interesting. Having a partner who also thinks in the same direction.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
And he says, you don't worry. We are there with you all the way. So my brother and me looked at each other and we said, this is great. This is fantastic. But we want to do that international on day one. They said, no, it doesn't work like that. Life doesn't work like that. We have to start from a local event to a city event to a national event to an international. And we are there with you. So what's your problem? We said, but that's not our dream. That may be your dream. Not our dream. She said, what's your dream? I said, our dream? Is the governor of Maharashtra standing there? The chief minister of Maharashtra holding a flag? 2 helicopters in the air? 15,000 people? And the world's best runners coming to Mumbai? He said, in which year? I said, year 1. He said, thank you so much. I wish you all the best. And Anil and me are holding our head and we are back on the street with our bag. There's this guy. And that was it. We were back on the streets. We're back walking with our bag saying, excuse me, this country needs a marathon. This society needs a marathon. Can somebody listen to us? And this multinational is saying, these guys, these two brothers are completely cuckoo, which is not far wrong.
But just a quick one, Vivek. When you thought of this, I'm sure you were inspired by something. What was that inspiration?
So London Marathon has been our inspiration in many ways. And I remember in 2003, we stood on the start line of London Marathon. And what I saw on the start line of London Marathon just blew me away. So we had seen sport, right, for 15 years before that, because Procam was founded in 1988. And we'd seen sport. I'd seen the top golf tournaments. I'd seen the top tennis tournaments. I'd seen top sport. And that day when we stood at the start line of London Marathon, it was a moment, it was epiphany. It was something which was just something I cannot describe to you. I saw mothers, fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers, daughters, sons, doctors, lawyers, plumbers, electricians, which is fine, which is what a marathon does. But I saw a look in their eyes that said, for the next 6 hours, I'm not your mother, I'm not your father, I'm not your electrician, I'm not your plumber. I am a marathoner. I have spent months training.
Interesting.
I've given my blood, sweat and tears on that road. I've sacrificed an hour of sleep. I've sacrificed a helping of dessert. I've sacrificed a drink to be here on that start line. I'm not your mother. I am a marathoner. And I'm saying, I've seen this look. I recognize this look. But I've seen it in professional sportsmen who played sport all their lives and have nutritionists and therapists and physiotherapists and dietitians and everybody around them.
Not normal people.
I've not seen this in normal people. What is it that can make a normal person feel that for the next 6 hours, he's something completely different? And he says, if I cross that finish line in the time that I've given myself to do this race, I have won the gold medal. I don't care whichever Kenyan or Ethiopian you felicitate. I have won the gold medal.
You've also built in a self-confidence in the person.
I said, this look has to come to India. India has to have this. This can't be just limited to New York, London, Tokyo, and Boston and Chicago. And that's how the conviction was born, the dream we had, even before we saw London. But the conviction was born there. And if ever there's a statement that says that if you see something, you believe it, that's fine. But if you believe enough in something, you will see it.
True. I totally agree on that.
It was that.
Totally. So the 30-kilometer wall, the point where runners give up, your personal 30-kilometer wall moment. And what did that teach you?
So, this 30-kilometer wall doesn't happen once. It happens many times. You have to navigate and break through it. It happens many, many times. But if you have that conviction, if you have that faith, many people you talk to will tell you, oh, I have faith. Do you have faith? Of course I have faith. I have faith. What is faith? Have they understood faith? If you know something and you go about it, that's not faith, right? Only when you do not know the outcome, when you do not know what's in store for you, and you still pursue your path, that's faith.
It's a belief. It's a belief and then leads into a faith.
Yes,
yeah,
because
agree.
Otherwise, what is it? Otherwise, if you know something and you keep pursuing it, then you know something. And that's what we did. We just had the power of conviction that we were doing something which was good for society, which was good for India, whose time had come. We didn't know that whose time had come. And that's what we pursued it with. And we found people at every step and corner that would support us.
Oh. You and Anil have co-led Procam for decades, as we just spoke. Partnerships are tricky. Was there ever a moment where you agreed and disagreed? and which actually made it, sometimes disagreements make you, converse and come out with something more stronger?
About 365,000 times. No, so, hats off to him. He's my elder brother. Hats off to him. His generosity of spirit, his magnanimity, and yes, my diligence and maybe work ethic and discipline.
So it's a partnership.
It's been a good partnership, and by the grace of God and by the grace of Guru alone, we have seen through many adversities together. So, yeah.
But as long as I think you're walking the journey together,
Yes.
I think
Yes.
partnerships and agreements and disagreements,
Yeah.
I think you would sort it out.
Yes.
Okay. Any decision when felt taken as a mistake has led to a success?
So it was this, so we were very tempted at that time because A, we had a multinational, B, we didn't know it was going to be a success. Everybody told us we were being foolish. And then my brother said something which was very interesting because I was like, should we really pass up this offer? This person, this multinational is going to hold our hand from A to Z. And should we really pass up this offer? And he says, see, I don't know what will be a success. And he said this very clearly to me. He says, we have a dream. If we pursue that dream and fail, we fail. But if we pursue somebody else's dream and fail, we won't be able to sleep well.
True. I think it's very well.
And that's what gave us the conviction to go back on the road in 2002. We had a dream that there has to be the governor and the chief minister of Maharashtra. There has to be helicopters in the air. There has to be the world's best athletes. And there has to be thousands of Mumbaikas running from across all over India. Now, that was a dream. And if it didn't work out, we failed doing our dream. We've not failed living somebody else's dream. And I tell you, on February, that was the first year, was February 2004, everything that we dreamt of came true. There were 2 naval helicopters in the air, the governor of Maharashtra and the chief minister of Maharashtra on the finish line, 15,000 people running. We had Hendrik Ramallah come for year 1. Hendrik Ramallah is South African. Hendrik Ramallah is the man who won New York in 2004. Wow. That's the quality of field we had. Michael Johnson and Mike Powell, 2 of the greatest athletes that have walked this planet, waving to the audience on the stands.
Wow.
Why? They were our international event ambassadors.
What a satisfaction.
So Mike Powell, Michael Johnson in the stands, waving to the audiences, the governor of Maharashtra on the finish line, the chief minister of Maharashtra holding a flag, 2 naval helicopters in the air, and 15,000 people on the ground.
Wow.
It was nothing but a simple manifestation of a dream blessed by grace.
True. I agree. Vivek, while you managed to convince, you had a sponsor. How did the global players think of it when you approached them and your concept? How was their initial reaction?
So the first thing was such a juggernaut, and that's what India required because it shook people out of their breviary or whatever. It shook people out. And that's when I realized later in life that if we had followed the playbook and done it in steps, nobody would be shaken out of their bed.
Yeah.
Nobody would get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and come. This was so big, it became there people said, what the hell is happening? I remember people like Anil Ambani, God bless him, the way he took to the streets.
Yeah.
And suddenly, what did that do? And he's written a beautiful foreword in our book called The Impossible Dream. He's written a beautiful foreword. What he did was in 2004 and 2003 end, when he took to the streets to train for the Mumbai Marathon, it just made, and that time Anil Ambani was larger than life.
Yeah.
It just made corporate India realize that there is no excuse. There is no excuse. If Anil Ambani can find time to run, who are you?
Everybody can, yeah.
So he did that, and he ran the first event.
And he became an inspiration.
He became an inspiration, and he's run with us for so many years. After that, Tina Ambani and Procam partnered with the Harmony Foundation for decades. So it was just wonderful people coming together to do something good.
So marathon is normally looked at as glamour. But what actually goes behind?
Everything goes behind. It's a microcosm for life, which is why we realized and I remember this so clearly, we finished 2004, it was a grand success. 2005 was coming up, and I get a call from Shri Sunil Dutt Saab. And my secretary tells me there's Shri Sunil Dutt Saab is on the line. I said, are you meaning the sports minister government of India? He was the sports minister government of India. She said, yes, he's online for you. I said, online for me? She said, yes, he's online for you. So I took the call. I said, Dutt Saab, namaskar. He says, बहुत अच्छा कर रहे हो बेटे, मैंने सब सुना है. आप wheelchair के साथ क्यों नहीं कुछ करते?
Wow.
And my face, luckily it was a telephone call and he couldn't see my face. I said, Dutt Saab, sorry. He says, you should get the disabled, you should get the people with physical challenges, people with wheelchairs involved. And I'm saying, man, do you know our roads? Do you know what the challenges we have to put people on our roads? Now you want me to get people with crutches and wheelchairs and physically challenged people on roads? He says, हाँ, ये तो marathon है, सबको इसमें भाग लेना है. And he was so right. It's a microcosm for life. Marathon, life is a marathon. And the Champions with Disability category was born in 2005. And we were on a wing and a prayer that everything goes off well, because dealing with people who are able-bodied and putting them on the roads, at that time the roads were not as good as they are today, was a challenge. Now putting people with physical challenges and wheelchairs and crutches on the road. I mean, it was incredible, and it happened. And today the Champions with Disability, today the senior citizens participating in the marathon brings so much joy, cheer and happiness.
And so much of excitement,
And
and satisfaction of doing it for them,
So today if you come to the marathon, and you must come in January and see it, you'll see all of society represented there.
Yeah, and there's so many foundations who are attached to it. Each one, I think it's an interesting way it becomes a cause for people to raise funds, etc. I think very, very interesting. So training is hard. So would you being an athlete yourself, what are your tips for people who want to start running marathons, the initial?
So marathon is about the mind. The body follows later. You've got to get that mental toughness in.
Interesting.
And if you get that mental toughness in, your body will finally listen to you. Do it professionally. Get the professional, go to your physiotherapist, go to your doctor. They will tell you what core strengthening, because a lot of us have cores that are not strong enough to run a marathon. I've run a marathon. I've run a couple of half marathons. You need to get your core strong. There's a way of doing it. You need to start clocking the miles in. It's not impossible. And don't worry about your age. Don't worry what people tell you. Get your core strong. Do the right exercises. Do the right conditioning. Build the mileage every week, and you will run a marathon.
So it's the full mind game first.
It's a mind game. It's the mind that you have to deal with, and the mind tells you 100 different things why you should not do it. You have to listen to something deeper than the mind. And that goes for anything in life.
True. I was just going to say that.
The mind dictates so many things which if we all listen to, we'd go crazy. We have to listen to things which go beyond the mind to a deeper aspect of our consciousness.
So yeah, it's the mind, it's the thoughts, it's the belief. And if you feel you can do it, why can't? So what's the most unusual or unforgettable thing that you've seen a runner grab mid-race? I'm sure they're interesting incidents.
So at Pedder Road, God bless Pedder Road and God bless all the buildings of Pedder Road. They come out there and then they come out there with so much of heart, and they got jalebis and samosas. and our runners who are coming up Heartbreak Hill, which is Pedder Road, they finished about 30K already, and they're coming up Heartbreak Hill. And there are these lovely societies standing on road with all kinds of things. And I'm saying, man, what are you doing? What are you giving? There are people standing with prasad from the Siddhi Vinayak temple. There are people standing with salt. There are people standing with samosas and Parle-G biscuits and everything have you. And the runners are in such a great high, and they've just climbed up a bit of Pedder Road, so they know the toughest part of the race is over. They've done their 32K. So they're grabbing whatever they can, and we are holding our heads and saying, really?
You're going to slow down.
Do you really want to take that? But yeah, there's some
That's interesting.
great fun moments.
I didn't know about this. Okay.
And they have we have a lovely thing that is called the harmonica choir, if I'm not mistaken. So they grab all this, they're coming up better, and then there's this harmonica choir which is actually serenading them as they come down, Kemp's Corner. Yeah, so there's some great moments, absolutely.
Okay. Could you just tell us what is, since you have the inspiration was the New York and the London Marathon and all, what is the difference between the marathons? The initial, I'm sure we've kept up and we're doing international standards now. So initially, what was the difference between
It was
us?
just it's the challenge for us was, of course, the roads initially were not up to the mark, but
Okay.
they have become
Better.
a million times better now. The other challenge that we face, and we continue to face it in some degree, much lesser degree today, is volunteering. This concept of volunteering in the West is very big. People give their time to volunteer. I'm talking people, senior people from organizations give their time to volunteer. Volunteering as a concept here, outside of religion, outside of temples, churches, and all the rest of the things, is yet not where the West is. And marathon needs a lot of volunteers. I was doing a count just a couple of years ago as to how many people actually make Mumbai Marathon happen. 15,000. There are 15,000 people working behind the scenes to deliver one Mumbai Marathon. That's the police force of Mumbai Police. That's the civic workers of the Municipal Corporation of Greater Mumbai. There are rapid action forces. There are hospital staff. There are volunteers. There are subheads. There are 15,000 people involved in making one marathon happen. In the West, the concept of volunteering is very strong. People come out. Here, it is still a growing field, and we're working on that. And today we're seeing good people come out and say, hey, I don't want to run this year. So we say, okay, I want to volunteer with Procam.
Wow, that's lovely.
It's become magical. So today it's changed. I'm talking of when we started, it was different. So today we have run clubs, giving us fuel stations, run clubs giving us water stations. We have runners playing different roles in the course. So it's wonderful. But yes, those were the initial challenges of mass volunteering, which we require. The condition of the roads was a challenge. Weather, fortunately, in January is nice.
It's good weather.
Weather is nice. Weather is good. And a marathon, to attract the right people, the right runners, requires to have built a reputation. It took us time to build, even though we did it in grand scale year one, it took us time to build that reputation.
True.
That today, Mumbai Marathon, today the Tata Mumbai Marathon is a bucket list item for any runner around the world.
Wow. Congratulations. And especially it leads to our next question, a country which is so crazy about cricket, because the only sport that we believe in is being cricket, to get them to running. So how? What else did you do? Of course, you built in, but how do you manage to get all the people out there into the participative theory?
So actually, the tide has changed, Rahat. India is moving towards an experience economy. India is moving towards an experience. People are wanting to be at the center of the action. This is much larger conversation than, it's just why people are running today. People are doing much more in terms of participative sport. Running today is the fastest growing sport in India. Not any other sport. It's the fastest growing sport. About 1,000 people, 1,000 amateurs lace up their shoes and hit the tarmac every day new.
Interesting.
We're talking about 300,000 new runners coming into the mainstream. And these are people from chairmen of companies and CXOs to the common man. So India is moving towards an experience economy. People are wanting to experience more and more, whether it's adventure, whether it's running, whether it's cycling, whether it's skydiving. People are wanting to experience more and more. And that's how more and more people are getting involved with the running paradigm.
Okay.
You've got celebrities flagging you off.
Yeah.
You've got people cheering and clapping for you, which is so different to spectator sport. Actually, there are two different paradigms, spectator sport and participative sport. And participative sport is growing.
Some of the interesting runners you've dealt with, worked with, aligned with.
Angad Duggal. So G.S. Dougal, his son, the family, the Dougal family, God bless them, they are absolutely divine souls. And their son has multiple issues, multiple issues of intellectual and physical challenges. And they brought their son to the marathon. And for several years, Angad took his first steps at the marathon. And you've got to see those pictures. You've got to see tears in the eyes of spectators. You've got to see how in the following years, spectators put up posters saying, Angad, we are behind you.
Oh, lovely.
And this boy, this Sikh boy, and this family, God bless them, would make him walk meters and meters and meters, carrying a chair behind him, and he would walk.
It's beautiful.
And he still does it. He was there last year with us back after a bit of a layoff due to COVID, etc., where he had slowed down. He was back with us last year. There was a question that you were in your mind and then you asked something else. But 2008, right, is when the terrorist attacks happened in Bombay, 26/11.
Yeah.
We were 7 weeks away from 2009 Mumbai Marathon. And the city was gripped by terror.
True. A lot of fear.
And we're saying 2009, so 35,000 people had registered. 7 weeks to go. So 40,000 people had already registered. 7 weeks to go. And guess where our marathon start line is? The CST terminal.
I know. Yeah.
Guess who's our hospitality partner? The Trident Nariman Point. The Trident Nariman Point is our hospitality partner. They are shattered. The CST, where a lot of the unfortunate action took place, is our start line and finish line. And we have 7 weeks to go. What do? If you ever want to talk about how a city woke up, how a government woke up, the government of Maharashtra, how they woke up, the resilience they showed. And they said, we will not bend down to this. And we were petrified because we said every international runner is going to cancel. Not one runner cancelled. In 7 weeks' time, we delivered, at that time, the Standard Chartered Mumbai Marathon, 40,000 people, all the international runners. Trident gave us all the support in the world and opened up the rooms that we wanted. And we started and finished at CST.
Wow.
We made it to the front page of Distance Running, which is a very reputed magazine in the world. We made it to the front page of Distance Running. Mumbai was on the front page. That is the power of a marathon.
A very, very satisfying experience, I must say.
Yeah, people coming together.
If I have to ask you to describe the Indian running community in just 3 words, what would you say?
Empathetic. And I'll give you a little backstory on each of empathetic, resilient, and committed. I don't know if many people are aware, but the largest sporting philanthropy platform in India is the marathons. I remember in year 1, we had Give India, which was a wonderful organization. They were a very small outfit in 2004. And they, worked with us, gave us the blueprint as to how a marathon can be used for philanthropy to raise monies for society. And I remember people were first of all laughing that these two brothers think thousands of people will come out on the road. Now they think that out of those thousands, many will run for a cause. Giving paradigm has changed in front of our eyes in the last 21 years. India was not a giving society if you take out religious giving.
True.
Temples, churches, no problem.
Yeah.
As much money as you want. We have the richest temples in the world in any case, even today.
Yeah.
But social, what we call civil society giving, there was a huge trust deficit. And one of the things that these marathons have done has built a bridge between civil society organizations and civil society. Transparent, accountable, professional giving. So Give India gave us the blueprint and we were working on that blueprint and we said, no, people must run for a cause. Marathons stand for philanthropy. And people laughed at us. That we had got used to by then. But year 1, we raised 41 lakhs for charity.
Wow.
And several NGOs took advantage of the marathon and we raised monies for them. by people running for a cause. And I was so chuffed because the dollar to rupee was about 41 at that time. So I would go around telling everybody 100,000 US dollars. So they'd say, what is this 100,000 US dollars you're suddenly? I said, we raised 100,000 US dollars for charity. And I was so chuffed about it. It took us 10 years, Rahat, from 2004 to 2014 to raise 100 crores for charity. And I remember 2013 end, we are saying, the marathons, our marathons have raised 100 crores for charity. Today, by the grace of God alone, we're on track to do 100 crores a year for charity.
Wow.
Hundreds of NGOs using the marathons to raise monies and awareness for their cause. Procam is on track to do 100 crores for charity every year.
Did you ever think it would come to this?
It's not possible to think. It's beyond your wildest imagination.
Yeah, I know. I can just...
And today, the kind of support we get from corporate India, Tatas, they've been such wonderful supporters. With Chandra running the half marathon every year from the start line and leading from the front. IDFC First Bank. Fabulous. Vaidyanathan doesn't have an hour in the day but will finish his half marathon. God bless him. Vedanta, Tata Steel, TCS. The biggest names of corporate India today are standing behind and saying, this is good for society. And we're going to support this.
So you're actually bringing about a health and fitness revolution with running, because you need to be healthy, you need to be fit, you need to have a mental wellness to be able to run.
Absolute empathy. I talked to you about empathy. You asked for 3 qualities. I said empathy, resilience, commitment. Empathy. People are running and running for a cause.
Yes, empathy.
Commitment. Long back, the marathon and the road became the new golf. There's a 5 a.m. club out there today. Resilience. Going through things, traveling across borders, carrying their shoes and making sure they get their miles clocked in. As we speak today, we launched the Tata Mumbai Marathon 2026 registrations in August. The half marathon is sold out. The 10K is sold out. The full marathon is more than half full and it'll end by next month.
And we still got 2 months.
We still got 3 months, 4 months. So it is that magic and that power of participative sport that transforms lives.
True.
It's not something you sit with a bag of chips and a cola in your hand and you cheer somebody, which is great entertainment, which is great. I love all kinds of sport and I watch all kinds of sport. This, which is participative sport, transforms you. A quick anecdote. We did Delhi, right? 2004, we did Mumbai. 2005, we did the Hutch Delhi Half Marathon. Again, the format had been set by then, so it was going to be international. It's going to have the best runners from around the world, television, live television, everything. And a week before the event, I asked my team, I said, how is the registration figure? They said, sir, 15,000 people. I said, that's great. I said, that's great, because India was not a running country. Mumbai had just started running and Delhi was definitely not a running city. So I don't know what came into my mind and I said, yaar, ye to bahut acha hai yaar. Ye 15,000 mein se how many women have registered? They said, sir, 15,000 people.
15,000 women?
So I said, 15,000 people, you told me. How many are women? He said, sir, 15,000 people registered. So I said, yeah, I got that. How many are women? He said, 90. I said, 14,910 are men. They said, yes, sir. We just last week completed the Vedanta Delhi Half Marathon and came back to Mumbai. We had close to 10,000 women running.
Wow.
Just seeing them, seeing that power out there makes your hair stand up. When a man runs, it's great. It's good. He's an inspiration. When a woman runs, she transforms the family around her.
True.
What comes out of the kitchen? What goes on the table? What does the family do? She has the power to do that.
So true.
Almost 10,000 women ran this year's Vedanta Delhi Half Marathon from 90 in 2005. If that's not a social revolution, what is?
True.
Our entire 10K pacer squad was women. And pacing is the highest form of service you can do in a marathon. You bring in a bus, you bring in people who follow you as the pacer, because I can't keep checking my watch every minute. The entire pacing squad of the 10K was women. There were women in the half marathon pacing squad.
So you've done Bombay, you've done Delhi. What next?
Calcutta. When we went to Calcutta in 2014, we did year one. So 2013, we went there. And I set up the back end, because we had to get registrations and blah, blah, blah. People said, why are you coming to Calcutta?
Yeah,
We're not
actually
going to
known
run.
to be more lazy.
Yeah, we're not going to run. We said, now that's our karma. We are coming. So the east, where the sun shines first, was in darkness. And we had these forms print. Those days, there was more forms than online. We had these forms. This was about 11 years ago. We had these forms printed, etc. And people would call our helpline and say, "ये तो बहुत अच्छा कर रहे हैं आप बॉम्बे से आए हैं, इतना अच्छा चीज कर रहे हैं आप, ये बहुत अच्छा मैराथन है, ऐसा होना ही चाहिए कलकत्ता में। ये 200 रुपये आपने लिखा है, वो कब दोगे?" So we'd say, कब दोगे means that's a registration fee. हाँ, registration fee की ही बात कर रहा हूँ मैं, कब दोगे? When will I get it? Will I get it when I come there, or will you give it in advance? I said, you have to pay. It's a registration. You bloody rascals. You come from Bombay. You want us to pay and run? And we were like, man, Guruji, please help us. This one I can't navigate. He says, you bloody, what? You want us to pay? And last year, in Calcutta, the Tata Steel World 25K sold out with 20,000 runners.
What a change. But how many runners did you get in Calcutta, honestly, the first time when you did?
Few thousand. That also, I don't know what we did. I think we rounded them up in parks and kind of caned them to come to the start line.
So that change must be fabulous.
So rewarding, really. It's so blessed. I tell my team, he could have done it through anybody.
He chose you.
He chose us. Let us not ever forget that privilege.
True.
That he chose us to do this magic. He could have chosen anybody.
So, your dream event, which you are yet to launch, have any thoughts?
No, it's going to be in participative sport. We're exploring new formats. We're exploring new paradigms of participative sport. And by the grace of God, something new will come out. We're a little restless that way. We have some.
I know.
We have some restless energy in us. So it will come out. It will come out soon, sooner rather than later.
So you also do coaching, I think, in your last conversation which you had. What kind of coaching do you do?
That's my other life.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not the other life. That's the life that drives this. So yes, I am. I have been with the Art of Living Foundation. You may.
Okay. Yes, I'm
Art
familiar.
of Living Foundation, His Holiness Pujya Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar. I have been a meditator. I have been a practitioner of the Sudarshan Kriya for many, many years now. And a couple of years ago, I was blessed to teach. So today I teach.
Okay, lovely.
I teach the happiness program. I teach the Sudarshan Kriya. And it is something that has given me immense strength, immense equanimity, and it keeps everything else going.
I think I can see that satisfaction on your face. I think it does. What you are doing also is, I guess that's why he chose you. Chose you all. Yeah, it is. Because you need that level of satisfaction and contentment to move ahead in, building in. I've seen the way you've spoken, we've spoken about empathy in such a beautiful way. While everybody does look at sports in this country, of course, there has to have a commercial aspect, but also empathy. Very few of them look at that. So, bravo. So, now how's tech affecting running? You have a lot of these apps, you have a lot of these, they get on to the runner, your running machines, etc. So, how is tech affecting it?
So, tech is very, very deeply integrated today in a runner's life. It's performance-led. You want to know how much better you're going to be every year. You're competing against yourself. You're wearing all kinds of watches and Garmins and Fitbits and whatever have you. But the most beautiful part of tech today is the way tech is bringing the community together.
Is it?
We talk to runners 4 times a year, right? We do the 4 biggest running events: Calcutta, Bangalore, Delhi, Mumbai. And they're all for international, they're all for World Athletic Gold Label events. But today I'm finding that the more and more I'm deploying tech, the more and more I'm deploying, the platforms, I'm bringing this community together and I'm able to talk to them much more. And that's my dream going forward, is how can I engage and talk to this community 365 days of the year? How can runners stay connected? This is participative sport. If you've
True.
gone through something, it's relevant for me.
To know, yeah.
You're not an elite athlete with a team of nutritionists, physiotherapists, and scientists around you. You're a person who has to get up in the morning and come to office at 9 o'clock and clock in. So I want to know your pain because you're real.
True. Interesting.
And that's what happened. We built this whole community of micro. There are 2.8 million people running regularly in India every year. We built this community of micro influencers. People don't realize, if you've completed a half marathon, just a half marathon, forget a full, forget anything else, or even a 10K, you're influencing about 14 to 20 people around you. They're going to see, what is Rahat wearing? What shoes did she wear? What did she eat? What did she drink? You have become, just by running a certain distance of 10K and more, become a micro influencer, and people are following you, wanting to know. They're not going to tell you they're following you, but they want to know what you do.
Okay.
And to bring this community together on one platform is our dream. And the only way to do that
It's through technology.
is to tech.
Yeah, you can also put in preparations, training,
Absolutely.
everything.
Couch to 5K. How do I get
True.
you from the couch to 5K? I want to use tech for that. How do I get you to have the right running style, the running nuances? How do I connect you to the right trainer in your area? How do I connect you to running groups? Running groups are so democratic. They're so wonderfully democratic. You can just walk in and say, hi, I'm so-and-so. I live close by. I want to run. How do I connect you to that running group? All through the power of technology.
Okay, you've celebrated thousands of runners across finish lines. What about you? What still feels unfinished in your race?
Actually, nothing. I mean, whatever boxes had to be ticked of success have been ticked. And the blessings that one has received is so plentiful that there is nothing left to really ask. Or, I mean, of course, you want more success for Procam. You want the running community to grow. You want people to come together more and more. You want more people to take up running. But those are just normal extensions of what you have. There is nothing that one says, there's no lack of anything. There's no lack in personal life. There's no lack in professional life. There's no lack in spiritual life. So much one has received that there's no question of lack.
Okay, this is the last one. What's the one thing that people don't know about Vivek Singh?
I don't think many people know that I teach the Art of Living's flagship
that
program
was new to me too.
called the Happiness Program. It's something wonderful. I advocate everybody. And, many, many years, 20 years ago, when I was in the ashram and I was hearing Guruji speak, and he says, everybody should meditate for half an hour a day. So whatever you do in your life, whoever you are, you should meditate for half an hour a day, unless you're very busy. So Guruji, that is very practical, right? That's the greatness. He's very practical, and he's not just divine, he's also practical. So he says, everybody must meditate half an hour unless you're very busy. He says, then you must do 1 hour. And I remember cracking up in the ashram saying, really? I mean, my master has a great sense of humor. Today I live that. The more dynamic you want your expression, the more dynamic you want your activity to be, that much deeper your rest and meditation needs to be.
True.
See, if you're going to be very busy, and if you intend to do a lot, you better meditate for an hour. Otherwise, half an hour and you'll get by. So I wish the world could really realize the wealth that we have in India, our yoga, our spirituality, our masters out here. And I wish the world could meditate more.
Yeah, as I told you earlier, even I do that. But what I have learned is the international community has absorbed it so well. Sometimes what you have within you as a country, we still keep on taking it for granted. But I have met international guys who do it so beautifully, the way they absorbed in the whole spiritual feeling, the learnings. I guess we've got a lot to learn too, back again.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. The international community has absorbed it beautifully. Today, yoga is a buzzword. You have a World Yoga
True.
Day. And India's contribution to the world is just phenomenal in this
True.
aspect.
Okay, I know I said the last one, but what drove you to the art of living? It's not something which is normal. There's always either you're searching or I've met a lot of them. So what drove you there?
Do you find your master? Does your master find you? That's an existential question. I don't know.
Okay.
But I'm just grateful that
happened. Okay.
something happened and I got there.
Because it's
So one
always a
doesn't
saying,
know.
Vivek, that,
But
there is a reason. There is
don't
something that drives you. That's why.
they say when you're ready, the master appears.
Beautifully
So
said.
I don't know whether I found the master or the master
Master
found
found.
me. I'm just grateful either way.
Okay. What a lovely conversation, Vivek. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Thank
and
you so much.
continue this beautiful journey. Wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Friends, if you've enjoyed the conversations, please do like, share, and subscribe at Missed Conversations with Rahat Beri.